that your coffee has gotten cold because it's been sitting aside as you try to figure out which jersey you're going to put on today. Are you going to wear one of the clean ones, or do the dirty jerseys bring you more luck on game day live Sunday morning from the On the Money Sports Lounge in the theater section for episode 2 of Sunday Morning Sick Picks, baby? We're bringing it to you live. We're breaking down lineups. We're apologizing for the things we got wrong last week. Mike D in the building. How you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. It's week 2. We're here to talk about week 1 overreactions. We're here to talk about our start and sit options and advice for this week. But it's only week 2, and thank God it's week 2. I love football. We all love football. And yeah, this is the week where we try to get things a little bit more right. Last week we had some not so good picks. We had some good picks. So
should we start with getting those out of the way now?
I mean, yeah, we definitely can.
Mine off the rip. I apologize to anybody that I told to fire up Jerome Ford. You know, I'm sorry to that.
Yeah, I told everybody Bryce Young.
That was a tough one. Hour and a half delay.
Yeah, obviously I couldn't predict something like that.
Jacksonville beats them 23-3. Panthers offense looks anemic. He can run all over them, which we're going to discuss down the road. I'd also like to apologize to the 49ers organization because on episode 1 of Sunday Morning Sick Picks pre-show, I came on here with my bottle of water and my notes, and I said to you guys that the DFS stack of the week is going to be Brock Purdy and George Kittle.
Elon put them alone.
And lo and behold, I ended up doing some brujeria on these guys by mistake, and now you've got Kittle on the IR, top 3 tight end in fantasy football, and Brock Purdy, who potentially could be a top 10 fantasy quarterback for football.
Yeah,
2 to 5 weeks.
So as you know, I have Kittle in East Coast because I sniped him for you, or sniped him, whatever.
Yeah,
to you. And I have Purdy in I don't know, dude. I'm in 12 leagues. I probably have him in 5 or 6.
So what did you do when Purdy went down? What was the...
So in most of those leagues, in 2 of them, if not 3 of them, I was able to get Michael Penix, who was out there in waivers. In East Coast, I actually drafted Justin Fields because East Coast, we have a max 2 running backs and wide receivers. So when I got to that max in our draft, I pivoted to quarterback, went best available quarterback, and ended up drafting Justin Fields in the draft. So it actually kind of worked out because he had a great week last week fantasy-wise. He had 32 points in the East Coast
Great
league.
Week, great game.
He can kind of sustain that or at least give me that while Purdy is out. I mean, it works out great for me. So I love the option that I have there with Fields. So I'm excited to see what he can do for me, and I'm not too worried because, again, I got Michael Penix in a couple of those other leagues, and I forget, I might have been able to grab a Daniel Jones, and can't remember what the other leagues would have. I'm in 12, so it's really hard to remember.
It's
all
tough to keep track of.
It is, but I can definitely say that at least 4 out of 4 of them I can tell you for sure that I have Michael Penix and Justin Fields in the 4 leagues that I had to pivot off of Brock Purdy. So they have options there, especially if it's a 1 quarterback league. There's definitely options out there. At least there should be. And I like those guys: Justin Fields, Michael Penix, Daniel Jones. Those were good pivots, I think, for Brock Purdy, especially after week 1 pivot. You know what I mean? Like, you got to adjust to somebody hitting the IR after week 1 after giving you 26 or 28 fantasy points in that first week. So it's tough, man. It's definitely tough to see guys go down like that early. But
Mac Jones.
It's Mac Jones time in San Fran. And
here we go.
They play the Saints today, so it's not like he has a hard matchup. Some people are going after the Saints defense in DFS. I kind of like them because they're cheap. But I mean, Mac Jones is not a bad play neither, man.
Super ugly.
In regular fantasy, you probably shouldn't need a Mac Jones unless it's a 2 quarterback or 3 quarterback type of deal league. But yeah, you should be fine. Other than that,
Mac Jones for maybe the next 2, 3, 4, because they said 2 to 5.
Yeah,
so that sounds. And Shanahan, he be up there lying.
I know it could be 7.
He lies, bro.
It could be 7, and they didn't put Purdy on the IR, so he couldn't. I read yesterday that there's a they're not optimistic about him playing in week 3, but again, like you said, he'd be lying, bro. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's ready for week 3, kind of thing.
My hope,
or I wouldn't be surprised if it took 7 weeks. You know what I mean? Like
it's like they're doing it again. It's
if they're doing it again.
like they're doing it again. It's
yeah.
like, what is your deal? What are you guys doing at practice?
I don't know.
We need to put extra cameras out there to see what's actually happening and why these guys cannot get on or stay on the field.
Yeah, and they're saying Purdy took that shoulder injury in the second quarter and played through that. I don't know when he took the turf toe injury, but
he was all screwed up, bro. He had the shoulder, the toe. He came out there jacked up.
They're missing that offensive lineman. Damn, I can't remember his name, but I know they're down an offensive lineman who hasn't played yet. And now, now they're down Purdy, they're down Kittle. It's Pearsall and Mac Jones time. Can CMC really put it on his back? Will that load be too much for CMC?
This would be the CMC game right here.
I mean, it would be. If it's any game that's going to be the CMC game this year, this is it, because it's the Saints. Perfect. The Saints defense is poorish. CMC is otherworldly, and when he's healthy, we've all seen what he can do. So if it's any game that CMC goes off this week, it's this one.
These right here are the weeks where you take Christian McCaffrey wherever you drafted him and you sell him like a top 5 pick, because this right here, this stretch of games is tailor-made for Christian McCaffrey, especially not having George Kittle there, because George Kittle is going to eat regardless of who else is there. But when you take George Kittle out of the equation, we don't know if Juwan Jennings is on a pitch count. Ricky Pearsall, he's there. After that, I don't know anybody else who they have.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just Jordan Watkins. I don't know any of those people. Tongus is going to be the tight end for the next 5 weeks for this team, and he's going to get peppered.
He is going to get peppered probably. He had like 6 targets or something like that last week after Kittle got hurt. And
you want to get nasty.
It's going to be weird. Yeah, that's so weird. It's going to be weird, dude.
That's what you got to ask yourself. You want to get nasty, what you do is you take in DFS, you put Tongus and you stack them up with Mac Jones and you go freaking crazy, because there's a chance that Tongus winds up getting 2 touchdowns today for no reason. Who's Jones going to connect with? It'll be McCaffrey or Tongus.
It's Pearsall. They're saying yesterday Jennings was a game time decision. Now they're saying that he's trending towards playing. So
yeah, he's expected to play. That's what it is.
I don't know. I mean, it could be Tongus that catches 2 of them. I don't know. I don't know, dude.
Sick.
I don't know.
I picked him up in Dynasty.
Is this a Kamara game too? Does Kamara go off? Like
Kamara, 2 targets last week from Rattler. Yet Rattler gave Chris Olave 13 targets. I think Rashid Shaheed had anywhere between 9 to 11 targets, and Juwan Johnson was a stud.
Yeah.
If Rattler is going to use Juwan Johnson that way every single week, Juwan Johnson, if he's still on your waiver wire this Sunday morning, you got to go get him, because this is ridiculous.
Yeah, you got to go get him.
If Rattler's going to be throwing 40 times a game, you got to play the odds with that. Don't matter if they stink. I don't need the Saints to be good. I just need them to be valuable for fantasy football, and they scream garbage time.
Yeah. We
are garbage time.
Yeah.
49ers, Juwan Jennings is active for week 2.
There it is.
There they are. So they've got somebody healthy. They lost 2, but they gained 1. Hopefully he stays on the field. I like the 49ers defense a lot more if Purdy and Kittle were healthy. I'm still playing them in a couple spots, but it's sketchy, man. It's just very, very sketchy. It's week 2, like you said earlier. Can't go crazy off what you saw from week 1. However, if you have to, jump off that train and you can tuck and roll when there's time to, don't be afraid to do that either, because
it might, you might have to do that early. There might be early pivots that need to be made after this week.
Don't hitch your wagon to some of these guys.
But kind of like me and you were saying earlier, there's also going to be things that we've seen last week that we'll probably never see again, at all in the whole year. Right. So, it's really take everything with a grain of salt. It's week 2. Let's see how everybody, plays. Like right now, we have a better outlook on what Green Bay is, right? As far as defensively, what they're probably going to do offensively throughout the year is just pepper a bunch of random wide receivers and Tucker Kraft all year.
Yeah.
And then Josh Jacobs will just, take the touches in the backfield.
And that's what's tough with them is drafting those guys, their wide receiving core. And, your guy is eventually going to have his day, but you're not going to know when to actually start him on that day.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, man. You know, it's not. You have Romeo Dobbs in a lot of different dynasty leagues, right? Where I got him in 2 dynasty leagues, and I don't know when to start him.
He's out there with the big helmet.
Jaden Reed, you know, RIP to the Jaden Reed owners who had Jaden Reed and, you know, broken collarbone. Hope he comes back soon and healthier. But
we lose Reed early in the game, and then we lose Austin Eckler because the Commanders decide to go super conservative and pepper Eckler with unnecessary targets.
Matthew Golden, the last 2 weeks, he's had 2 targets. He has a total of 4 targets in 2 weeks.
Well, this is Sunday morning sick picks. So guess who started Matthew Golden in sick picks? Me. That's who. And if the ball doesn't get overthrown twice, we're potentially talking about Golden not just scoring touchdowns, but giving us some very friendly bonuses. So it's one of those things where, like, okay, he doesn't get those, but you saw what could have been.
Right.
And now, okay, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt only gets you less than 2 points, but now Austin Eckler's out of the picture, and they're literally telling you Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt is our running back 1 moving forward. You know, like Chris Rodriguez should be there. I don't know.
I'm surprised they didn't use Merritt a lot more earlier last week or on Thursday because
they got down too fast.
I think using Eckler the way they did was just abusing him at that point, and I think that's why his Achilles popped the way it did. But yeah, I think at least at this point you got to use Bill more moving forward and
Bill Krosky-Merritt.
Yeah, you got to do it.
I think that the fact that they went down 14-3 so quick, it just took them out of their rhythm and their game script because you know if the Commanders have a lead, they're going to want to run the football.
Yep.
And
Noli, what's up? Yep, Noli, what's up? Noli asked how we feeling about Judkins. They saying he's getting 10 to 15 touches. Yeah, I think they're gonna monitor Judkins today. I don't know if they'll just completely let it loose unless he just breaks out on a few runs. But I don't know. I don't know how to feel about him just yet. They're playing the Ravens, and I think the Ravens are a little upset about what happened last week.
They're pissed.
So they're pissed. Unfortunately, I think the Cleveland Browns take the brunt of that. And
spread was minus 12.5 on that game last I looked.
It opened up at 11.5, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's at 12 now. But I think the Ravens are gonna
dog walk
them up. Yes, dog walk.
So
as the young kids say,
if we know for sure ahead of time that he's getting this pitch count, my whole thing is if I had Judkins, you know, with all the leagues that I'm in, there might be a shot that I throw him out there somewhere just to get a spot. But I don't think he's taking any. I think Dylan Sampson is the man right now.
He looked good last week, man. And you know, again, every team in the NFL is trying to utilize 2 running backs in some sort of way. So it could behoove the Cleveland Browns to really use both of them a lot.
That's what they're gonna do.
I wouldn't
get Jerome Ford out of there, and then you're gonna rock with Sampson, Judkins, and that's gonna be the power combination.
If Judkins looks good and Sampson just capitalizes when he's on the field, I think they'll be fine in the backfield. Really, especially with a coach like Stefanski.
If he breaks for 1 out of those 10 to 15 touches, then at that point you won. You play the odds. Yep, if you started him, you're happy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like what RJ Harvey last week was rough, but he did break for a 50-yarder. You know, like it's there. Like it's all there for him. You know what I mean? Like it's just let's like Bo Nix did not look great. Bo Nix did not really do him any
not
favors
a whole much. He didn't do a whole much
with how he played in that game. So that's another thing that I'm a little worried about, like with their situation and with the fact that I've got Bo Nix in a couple spots where it's like we gonna get this together against Indy, or
not just Bo Nix. I have Bo Nix in a couple spots like you do, but I have Cortland Sutton in almost every single league. So again, 12 leagues. He
scored last week, right?
He did. He did.
Like he's dealt with Cortland Sutton has dealt with the ringer as far as quarterbacks go. So
like no, I know
he's just gonna do him,
but it just makes his job a whole lot harder when the quarterback is underperforming. So. It's just something to be wary of as a Cortland Sutton owner who, again, I might have him in 9 of the 12 leagues. So that guy's everywhere. I wanted him in every league.
And it's like, they're playing against us. So, of course, I want my boys to handle business. But then I'm thinking in the back of my mind, I'm thinking about those 2 leagues where I have Bo Nix. And I'm adding up the points in my mind. And I'm watching this guy run from one side of the field, but then try to fling it that way, like do some cool shit, but it did not work at all.
Some Patrick Mahomes shit.
Like, set your feet and make the play, bro. Some Patrick Mahomes shit. Like, come on, dude. Like, I get it. You're in the division, but like, come on, be yourself.
Right.
Be your own guy. Right.
He's older too, so he probably thinks, he's like one of those teenagers who just thinks they know more than their parents, kind of deal.
He started out rough last year, and then once he started yelling, he kicked it up a notch, and things took a turn for the better. So
maybe he should start yelling a bit more because I need him to help me out.
Oh, matchup against a Colts team, and that's the thing. It's week 1, but they were dominant against the Dolphins.
Is the Dolphins that bad, or
Who
is
does
the
that
Colts
say more
this
about?
Good? You know what I mean? So we'll find out. Again, like I said in the beginning, we're gonna find out more about a little bit more teams.
We're gonna find out about both these teams, Indy versus Denver.
All the teams this week. We're gonna find out a lot, man. We're gonna see consistencies. We're gonna see the inconsistencies already to start the year. We're gonna see a lot. It's like the Commanders, they didn't look completely great or better against a defense that was really on top of them and executing their plays as one would say.
They were taken out of their game script early.
Yes,
by a real team. The Packers are a real team. They're a real defense. If anything,
Don't disrespect. We're a real team. The Giants are a real team.
The Packers are a real contender right now.
The Giants are a real team.
Back to don't disrespect me on this fucking podcast. I'm sorry. The way the delivery was very insensitive to you because I forgot. In that moment, I forgot. I'm just saying.
Listen, I wore my legendary T-shirt today. Got the Legends of New York on here. Taylor, Ewing, Jeter. I think we're gonna do some legendary shit today.
The Giants,
I think we're gonna do some legendary shit today.
Let's cut to the chase. You think you're beating the Cowboys?
Yeah, hell yeah.
The first loss.
We have to
after 13 straight.
We have to, bro. We need these first 2 weeks were critical for the Giants, not for the fans. I mean, for the fans, but
I didn't mean to
more for the team, man. Like we start this year with division games, and it sucks saying like these games are must win, but at least one of them you gotta win.
And then you got the Chiefs next week, and they're gonna be pissed. They're gonna be pissed. If this shit
don't
go their way this week, they're going to be
shots fired. You damn right, cuz.
I didn't mean it like I'm just saying, the Packers, the Commanders did not have to play their best game because Russ was out there.
Listen, I get it. I get it.
The Packers came out there ready to punch these guys in the mouth on Thursday Night Football. Week.
My Uncle Mike was pretty hype about the Commanders and their defense, and like, oh, our defense looked crazy. You seen our defense last week? And I'm like, relax, Theo. Like, come on, okay. Yeah, I'm a Giants fan. I'm gonna ask you to relax.
Take it easy. Okay? They got to work out some kinks out there. Hey, if you're watching though, listen. I've been telling y'all about Deebo Samuel. I've been telling y'all how they were going to utilize him in that offense.
It's 2 weeks.
Whoo, look out.
And fourth quarter touchdowns.
If you got that vet, Zach Ertz.
I don't think Zach Ertz is a different story.
Be a guy.
It's
the same story.
It's not.
Same story,
it's
bro.
It's not the same story. Zach Ertz is the one getting the early touchdowns. Zach Ertz is the one involved in this game.
Back-to-back weeks touchdowns for Deebo. 17
in the
points
fourth quarter,
on Thursday Night Football.
In garbage time.
Don't matter.
In the fourth quarter.
Garbage time against the Giants did not count because the Commanders were the team that was winning. That's not garbage time.
They were winning the game regardless. That touchdown meant nothing.
That's them closing out the game because the Giants couldn't score a touchdown.
So it doesn't matter. We were already up.
They closed it out because they knew you couldn't score.
They were going to close it out regardless whether they scored or not. They were closing it out.
What was the final of that game? 21-12?
21-6.
21-6. Yeah, the last touchdown iced it because they knew you weren't even going to be able to tie.
There was no icing. We couldn't score a touchdown. There was no icing of the anything.
Why?
There was no icing.
What happened?
And not only that, we had to score a touchdown and convert a two-pointer just to tie it.
And then go down the field again.
Right.
So my whole thing is Russ said he played his butt off. He said, I played my butt off.
You know what, man?
He didn't say ass, bro. He didn't curse.
In the afternoon, okay? I haven't had my coffee yet today.
He's going to go play his butt off again today against Dallas, bro. He's going to play his butt off. And whatever that means to him, I don't know what it means in real life, but whatever it means to him, bro, is going to be something.
It better mean a W today.
He's the key, bro, to all this.
Listen, man, it's week 2. We're going to go out there and get 100%.
Then you're going to Kansas City, right? Because you're home you're in Jerry World.
Kansas City comes to us.
And then, okay.
Yeah, because we open the season with 2 road games, and then we have the home game against Kansas City.
Okay.
I kind of want to go to that game, honestly.
That's a good one to go to.
Yeah, I might still try and make it happen. But
I'm not being insensitive. I'm just saying.
Yes, you are.
No, listen, I'm putting that out there.
You're not a nice guy.
I'm going to say that before. I'm going to say that before I'm going to say the next thing I'm going to say because I was going to say the other thing first. I was gonna say Giants tickets should be affordable right now, but that's why I said if I say that right now, based on 2 minutes ago, he's gonna think that I'm, But that's why I said I didn't mean to say it that way, but it would be nice, to go watch the Chiefs.
They're gonna capitalize. The hometown kid is coming to Jersey. Isaiah Pacheco.
So the Giants are gonna beat the Cowboys today.
Yes, we will.
Lock of the week?
No. Not lock of the week. I'm not that insensitive to the people. Okay, I'm a little outlandish, but I'm not that insensitive.
Russ gotta get his head out the clouds, bro, and come back down to earth and play some foosball, because Dallas took a tough one last week to open up the season.
You know what? We're gonna stop talking about the Giants. Okay.
Okay, I'm down for that.
We're gonna stop.
I think that's a good idea. I'm only in this whole cave that is the Giants. I'm only here because you brought us here, man. I was ready to talk Broncos, Colts, but I was like, let's get it out the way. Like, let me just get it all out now. If we're gonna do this,
man, I can't, dude.
If we're gonna do this, let's do it. And I just,
oh my goodness, No, I love this time of the year.
One of my best friends in the world. I'm gonna be completely honest.
The Giants stress me out every year for the last 15 years plus, but I love them, man. It's whatever. It's whatever, dude. Listen, we're gonna get into our favorite plays, start sits for each position, and we're gonna start off with running backs actually, because I just made a move that I hope pays off. I'm sitting Isaiah Pacheco for Trey Benson today.
Trey Benson,
and I like Trey Benson in a lot of leagues, depending on your format, depending how many people like if you're in a situation where you're like me, I was considering sitting Pacheco. I just didn't know for who, whether it would be Charbonnet, whether it be Trey Benson. But I like the defense that Benson's going up against. Their home, Arizona's home against the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers got shredded last week by Travis Etienne, and it looks like Etienne's back in tip-top form.
It looks like the Panthers defense is going to get shredded by everybody.
Or is the Panthers defense really that bad? We'll find out for sure in the next coming weeks as far as Etienne goes. But we'll find out too again about the Panthers defense. Did that delay fuck up the whole game? Did it F up the whole part of the defense? Whatever. But I do think the defense is bad. I do think James Conner and Trey Benson go off today. So I say fire both those guys up. I love Trey Benson in DFS. He's a super cheap play, I think, at 5,200. James Conner's at 6,600, but isn't too crazy expensive neither, depending on how you build the roster too. So
he's in my DFS lineup.
Yeah, I think I put him too, if I'm not lying.
And he would have to be my one of my running back starts of the week would be James Conner, because of everything that you just said as far as this Panthers defense, what could be the issue or what actually is the issue, because last year they couldn't stop the run. And I think that this game today is tailor-made for James Conner to go out there and just have himself a day, and for maybe Kyler Murray to just control the game enough, because the running game is what's actually going to control the entire game, and why the Cardinals end up winning today against the Carolina Panthers. I don't know if they're a good team yet. I don't even know if the Cardinals are a good team. I just know that the Cardinals, hey, they're good enough to beat the Saints last week, and they're, I think, good enough to beat the Panthers this week. And next week I will still have a lot of the same questions about these Arizona Cardinals, because that's just who they are on a week-to-week basis. They're not going to give you the same thing back-to-back weeks. Last week, the Saints had them on the ropes, and I'm looking at this and I'm saying to myself, what is going on? Like, they barely survived against Rattler and the Saints because he just kept slinging it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what
there's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah,
either.
No, they're going to do that all year long, dude. I mean, they have nothing to lose.
No,
so
it doesn't matter.
They're going to do it. They're definitely going to do that all year long.
Just sling, and Juwan Johnson's eating. It's only a matter of time before Shaheed breaks for one of those big ones.
Oh, yeah. And just a matter of time before Kamara really gets involved in the passing game, whether he's going out and running a couple of in and out routes or whatever the case may be, or just dump balls. But he will be involved and get involved more throughout the year.
Do you have a second running back?
I think as far as DFS goes, somebody that's high price that you want to just really kind of like put all your eggs into a basket type of a saying deal with him. We kind of mentioned him earlier. I think if anybody's going to have a crazy day, it's going to be Christian McCaffrey. Again, a healthy Christian McCaffrey going up against a Saints defense who we all know is just not.
That's a 2-touchdown candidate right there.
All day. Set up you could just build up around him pretty much. Start with him and then go somewhere else. Go cheap at quarterback and defense or even tight end. I like Chig. Chig's a great play too. We'll get to tight ends in a little bit, but I love Chig this week too.
Now you love Chig. Didn't like him all summer. Now you love him.
That was probably me being more a hater and just trolling you.
But
I like Cam Ward, man. Cam Ward did not, he didn't get a lot of help last week when it comes to a lot of his pass catchers. That's for damn sure.
Nobody helped this kid.
No, I mean it looked like he knew what he was doing, honestly, but everybody else didn't. There was this play surfacing, bro, where they were running a 3 wideout set where the third wideout motioned out, and it was an RPO where it was supposed to be one of those wide receivers. It doesn't matter really which one stopped to catch the screen. He opted to pass. None of the wide receivers stopped for the screen. All of them went to go block, and Cam Ward had to just pump fake it, bring it down, and then try to take off. And by then it was just too late. And if one of those wide receivers was just doing their job correctly, that play would have probably been a big play for you.
If our head coach knew what the catch rule was, then maybe we get the challenge flag.
Oh, Drew.
There. What's up, Drewski? And maybe we're having a different conversation, but it's in the past. I just hope that we help the kid out today. Can we help him out today?
Yeah, that's all you got to do, man.
Help him.
That's all you got to do is help the kid out, and I
clearly
think you guys play a lot cleaner football.
He's advanced.
Yes.
As far as the stages of what his, he's not just settling for his first, read. He's looking around. He's getting people involved. Like, just help him out. You're going up against the Rams. Crazy stat of the day: Matt Stafford is 0-4 career against the Tennessee Titans. He may break that today, or we might show some competence as far as how we go about running this offense. Callahan, who is head coach / OC, so you catch a lot of the heat for this. And on the defensive side of the football, I can't be too upset with that. Besides the fact that you have Ladarius Sneed on this pitch count, and then you use all his pitches in the first half of the game.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So we don't have our best corner on the field in a 1-possession game in the fourth quarter because you used all his pitches on his pitch count.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't get it.
In a game where Bo Nix was literally like, "Here, guys." How many turnovers do we have? 4? Oh,
at least. Yeah, I thought it was 5, but at least
4 turnovers. 4 field goals. That's what we gave back the defense. That's what we gave Cam Ward in the defense.
Someone tell Carter no spitting today. I hope he got the message, man.
I mean,
they're not suspending him. They took away his pay for last week.
The games are only going to get bigger and bigger each week. So you have to know that you could have potentially cost your team with your actions, and you can't. Whatever happened, you got to be smarter than to be baited into a situation where you could potentially cost your team in a game.
And the whole Dak spinning thing has become more of a story the last couple of days in social media and ESPN and stuff like that. And
we don't know what was
said.
It is,
we don't know what was said, and it is what it is about as far as what videos are surfaced or anything like that. But we all know in most sports, and especially football, that it's usually the second guy that gets caught doing something, and you're the one that's just getting the blame. So it's just how it works, bro. So you just have to be more disciplined. That's honestly at the end of the day. And spitting is spitting. I don't condone that shit at all. Like I told somebody, I'd rather you sucker punch me or punch me in my face before you spit on me.
Well, 2 people got punched with helmets on last week.
Yeah.
The Cowboys player punched an Eagles guy, which that they didn't call anything on that. And then Tier Tart slapped Travis Kelce and wrung his neck. And then Canelo got smacked yesterday, which was also
nice.
Absolutely
nice.
Insane.
I love what you did there.
I caught that. You saw that? I set it up.
Yeah, I love what you did there. That was great.
That was wild. Because I saw the highlights of that.
Good fight, man.
Crazy.
I was at the movies last night. I effed up and bought movie tickets weeks ago for this movie that I've been waiting for.
I effed up. I bought movie tickets. Had a great time.
I mean, I just didn't realize it was on the same night as the Canelo fight or Crawford fight. And I was mad that I wasn't able to watch the fight with my peoples like I wanted to. But nonetheless, the fight kind of started really late into the movie, so I put it on and still paid attention to the movie, but I had an eye on the fight. I was kind of doing both things, and I was able to catch really, the meaty part of the fight at the end. And it was awesome, man. It was really good. It was a really good fight. I put 50 on Crawford. I wanted to put 100, but my brother talked me out of that, and I should have just did it.
That shit banged.
And it hit. It hit. Crawford had a great fight, bro, and he is literally like hands down, pound for pound king, bro. Like he's been doing this now for 12 years, just beating down on dudes in the boxing ring. And I don't know, dude, he might be one of the greatest boxers that we've seen in our era. Really.
And everybody was like, oh, he gave him his belts back or whatever. Each boxer keeps their championship belts forever.
Right.
They make a new belt for, the new champion.
Right.
And that's his belt, literally. So he's giving him back his belts.
Yeah, and he's doing this in different weight divisions now at this point. The guy's just an animal. He's a boxing savant. You know what I mean? Like this guy just is boxing. He lives, breathes, and eats boxing. So
that hook that he hit him with was
Canelo
looked back at him.
Yeah. It was devastating,
shit.
bro. Yeah, no, it was super devastating.
That's when I've seen that look. I recognize that feeling. That's when it's like this is real.
Yeah, I almost screamed out loud. I didn't remember I was in the movie theater. So
man,
that was nuts.
That was nuts. Real quick before we get into the next position it starts, I wanted to break down one game that we didn't get to, but we kind of it's Colts Broncos 1-0. What's real, what's not? Danny Dimes, great game last week against the top defense in the league potentially. Does Bo Nix clean it up against the Colts defense? Was it too shabby?
He should be able to clean it up against that Colts defense. I think the Denver Broncos are better than what they showed last week offensively, but defensively they look good. So I think they can do the same thing to the Colts this week or today. And can Danny be consistent? Can he turn it around? Can he turn his career around in a sense? Like I've been saying he was. For a week now. For 1 week I was right. So we'll see if he can prove me right for 2 weeks. But he looked good last week. And let's see if he can do it against a defense who's a lot more buttoned up. When we're talking about Miami and Denver. We'll find out for sure, man. We'll find out. Danny has the weapons around him to make it work. He has a very good offensive line in front of him. So if it's anybody that's going to make Danny look good, it's going to be the Indianapolis Colts, which is crazy to say.
You know what scares me is the fact that we're potentially looking at one of the new top vultures in the league for touchdowns. For me, someone who is a fantasy owner of Jonathan Taylor, and those moments where they're at the goal line with Danny Dimes starting, and now you have that worry where you're looking at them line up and you're asking yourself, is he going to hand it off, or are they going to? They're doing the tush push right now. They're tush pushing their way into the end zone with this guy because it'll work with him. So that's a bit concerning from the fantasy perspective, but I am curious to watch these two teams go at it just to see. I feel like the Broncos have this game because I think that last week Broncos defense was also another big contributing factor to why they were able to maintain the lead and win the game, close it out, because their offense did not look that great. Now you're going up against an offense that looked great last week, and I think it'll be a challenge to an extent. They do have some big boys up front on that offensive line, so it's going to be an interesting battle with the trenches and what Bo Nix is going to be able to do. I don't like the matchup for Michael Pittman. I'm not a Michael Pittman guy, but especially when you're going up against Pat Surtain.
I mean, I like Michael Pittman. I've always liked his talent. Me and Oscar were big on him this summer, and he had a good showing last week. Him and Daniel Jones did. But again, what Pittman does is really all dependent on what and how Daniel Jones plays. So, I mean, a lot of that's just on Danny at this point, I think, man. And again, they're going against a good defense this week. So even if they do have a bad week this week and they can come back and turn it around next week, at least we know going forward in fantasy that these are guys that we can take advantage of, at least matchup-wise, and not on an every week basis.
Yeah, because Colts go 1-1, and Houston loses to Tampa tomorrow. Colts are still in
first place,
great position.
To at least take the division.
They're contending right now. They're
And honestly, I'm happy you brought up this game because we can segue right back into positions, and I'll go quarterback. Since I kind of skipped over them to start with. And my favorite quarterback for start this week would be Bo Nix, I think.
Bo?
Yeah, I like Bo. I think you got to just kind of trust him this week and believe that, again, that we believe or I believe that this Denver offense is better than what they showed last week. I do think that at some point they will get the ball rolling. We all know that September football can be pretty ugly for the most part, especially for the first 4 weeks. So again, it is only week 2. But yeah, put your trust in Bo. Start Bo this week. He's one of my favorite QBs.
Oh, I'm starting him. I can't bench him.
No, I mean,
I went on the waiver wire.
I have Bo Nix. They're one quarterback leagues anyway, and in those leagues, I don't like to roster another quarterback if I really don't need to.
Well, I have Bo in 1-2 quarterback league where it's Jalen Hurts and Bo Nix as my 2 starters, and then on my bench I have Bryce Young, who I don't think I'm ready to start week 2 over Bo Nix. I don't want to overreact off what I saw last week because my defense showed up. This week, the Colts have a good defense, but I think that, again, the Broncos and Bo Nix are good enough to be able to – I think his projection right now is 31 points, not counting any bonuses or whatever happens. But if Harvey rips for a long one, that could be 40, 50-point day for Bo.
Yeah, in a super standard league, they got him projected at 17 points, 16-9.
So if he gives you 20 points,
yeah, it's super.
That's great.
It's a great week.
I have him in one of those. It's a 1 quarterback league where his projection is like 19 something. So if he gives me that 18, 19, I'm good. We're good, bro. Give me 2 tutties.
And even in that league where he's projected for you at 31, if he gives you, if he gives you the 31 or 33, 35, that's honestly a really good week.
Yeah.
Anything else higher is probably because great bonuses or whatever like that. But yeah, I think anyone from 31 to 35 would be good in that particular league. Again, trust Bo this week. I love Bo this week.
I think that this week you can trust Joe Burrow because not only is he my quarterback play of the week, or I think he could be quarterback 1. I think that What up, Matt? I think that the Bengals are one of the 2 teams that I have for bounce back games after really cruddy games last week where nobody benefited from having a Bengals stack or chase. Like it was rough out there against the Browns. It's usually always rough for the Bengals when they play the Browns for some reason. This week, I don't know how rough it's going to be. I saw the over-under for this game. I think it has the highest or second highest over-under of all the totals for this week's slate. So they're projecting a lot of points for the Bengals. They're projecting a lot of points for Jacksonville, and that's a lot of passing yards and touchdowns for Joe Burrow. And I think they come back and they kind of plant their flag and let people know it's like last week was rough, but we don't think this week is going to be rough. Not against this defense.
I like the Bengals this week. If this should be a bounce back week for them, they notoriously start off super slow. So I think this should be a big bounce back, especially against a team like Jacksonville. So
do it again.
Do it again. They're gonna do it again.
No money.
They're gonna do it again
after we discussed Bengals.
I heard it. My ears were ringing while I was taking a polar plunge in the pool. I won't come on screen because I can't flash this sexy fat body to the camera.
Somebody get this guy the hell out of here.
Let me just make it perfectly clear for all you Atlantic City
He's not supposed to be
hogs.
Here. He's not supposed to be here.
Let me make this perfectly clear. The Jacksonville Jaguars are going to beat the Cincinnati Bengals.
No, they're not.
You're better off saying the Giants are beating the Cowboys.
Especially if Joe Burrow throws another 111 yards this week.
That's not happening.
You know it's not happening.
You don't even like the Jaguars. You just hate the Bengals so much.
Yeah, well, just what Jacksonville's on the money pick.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Nice. Oh, that's good to know.
Write it down.
That's a loss.
Jaguars. Okay, I will write it down. Jaguars will beat the Bengals.
Yeah.
Write down Colts over the Broncos, too.
Colts over the Broncos. Here we go. There's the on-the-money pitch right here for you.
Patriots over the Dolphins.
Patriots over the Dolphins. He got to get one, a safe one in there because it's getting crazy. Yeah, it might not be. I mean, we don't know what these.
Kyler Murray's going to beat the Panthers, even though I think they're both mid.
Battle of the mid is Cardinals over the Panthers. Okay.
Last but not least,
the Steelers.
And Buffalo is going to silence all these Jets fans.
Okay, Bills over the Jets.
1 week wonders.
Oh man,
they lost last week.
Jeez, why you have to?
No, 1 week wonders. They gave you a good game.
Because they scored 32 points. Everybody thinks we got a
Well, maybe your defense isn't that good.
Oh,
The expensive defense.
Or maybe it's just a guy who played on the team last year, watched that defense all season, said, here's the weaknesses on this team.
Maybe you should have kept that guy.
Maybe other teams were watching the film of last week and they say, this is how you score on
it. back to the Bengals. We throw it back to the Bengals.
Guess what, Oscar? Cincinnati Bengals are 1-0. All right?
So we're going to be 2-0 after today.
Yeah? Against Seattle, you think you're tough? You think you're tough picking on Sam Darnold?
You guys are real tough 3v1, huh?
You're real tough when it's the Seattle Seahawks and the New York Jets. Huh? Why don't you be tough against Joe Burrow? They're coming.
Oh, we're coming.
They're coming to get you.
I hope they wear their all-white unis, too.
They might.
Because they're going to be just as extinct as the white Bengals.
Oh!
Somebody get this guy the hell out of here.
Yeah, man, we're not talking Giants.
We apologize. We apologize for the stunt. He was not scheduled to be here on the pod this morning. It's Sunday morning. This guy wants to gallivant around cutting promos on the Bengals for no reason.
Matthew said, ask Oscar if BTJ is having a good game. I think Oscar's going to say yes.
I think he's going to have a good game because I don't think the Bengals defense is going to shut down the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Right.
I think Jacksonville's going to go out there and score and do a little better than last week because they were playing a team that didn't show up. So this week they're playing a team that's going to show up. And I think that, at least on the offensive side, you guys know I'm not a Trevor Lawrence guy, but I think they have enough pieces to make things work, on that side of the ball and to put up some points. And that over-under is high for a reason. It's not because Vegas thinks that these two defenses are going to show up. They're expecting a lot of points. So I think that it's okay to put BTJ on a slip if you want to.
So I like Drake May as another quarterback to play this week. I don't believe in
I like
Miami.
that you like it.
I don't believe that Miami wants to play for McDaniels. And I think Miami is going to fire him very soon. And if and when that happens, I think that team will probably go on some sort of a fire sale. I think it would behoove Miami to just clean house and just start over fresh.
They cannot get rid of Tyreek Hill right now. That's such an
the contract is ugly. His personal situation is ugly. So do teams even want to trade for a thing like that? Probably not.
Does Kansas City
A-Chain and Waddle probably has great value right now, and I think that they should try and get ahead of something like that. Really,
I can't do Waddle. I can't deal with him. Mr. No offense, but Mr. Blue Tent, I call him at this point.
He does get concussed a lot, man. He has the history. That whole team. I don't know what it is about that team.
If I'm willing to take a flyer out on Jalen Waddle, I'd much rather go out there and try to get a hold of Chris Olave in a couple more spots because he's just a better version of Waddle, in my opinion, with some of the same issues. Where I'd rather just have him on the field and I'll take my chances with at least Rattler is going out there and it ain't pretty, but he's given those targets. Tua this week, after what we saw last week against New England, I hope that he looks more competent because then that means
Drake
from
Miami has a good fantasy day if you had to pick somebody.
Devon A-Chain. And if they can control the game through Devon A-Chain, then at that point, progressively, I think Tua could potentially play better. He's more than capable of getting you 2 touchdown passes today. But in my opinion, I think that eventually this Patriots defense is going to be better than what the Colts were. They didn't look great last week, but I think they're going to figure that out. They generated some turnovers. There's going to be those problems. They're going to play the Dolphins tough. I think the Patriots are the better team. If they can establish A-Chain early, that opens everything up down the field. We maybe Tyreek Hill goes off today. Like we don't know what the hell the Dolphins are doing. Jobs are on the line. Seats are getting hot. There's press conferences are getting real uncomfortable when they're asking Tyreek Hill certain questions, and it's just the vibes ain't good in Miami anymore. And we feel like this team has overstayed, and it's like they need a change. They need a new look. They need a fresh coat of paint. They need to move on and figure out how to actually become the contenders that we've called them to be for the last 4 to 5 years. Because they haven't shown us anything.
No, they haven't, man. They're doing a very bad job at making us believe in them. That's true. But I really don't like them too much, man. As a team, as an organization, right now, they just kind of rub me the wrong way for whatever reason, and I think they just need a clean house.
I like Ramondre Stevenson today. I like Stevenson and
really,
Henderson.
I like.
That's another
I like
combo
Henderson
of running
more
backs.
than Stevenson. There's been word saying that Henderson might get more touches this week, so we'll see, man. But I like Henderson more.
I have May and Henderson both starting in the Dynasty of Arms League, so I got the stack going because I'm expecting a big day for Henderson, but I'm also expecting for there to be some pass catching opportunity there for Travion, and he's gonna make the most of it. I really like him as like maybe he's not your RB2, maybe you're not confident starting him there, but I think that you could easily fire up Travion as your flex. And if you're stressing about some wide receivers you can't trust, or you're dealing with some weird injuries, Travion could be that guy to kind of plug in, and I think everything will be all right because I'm not scared of this Dolphins team. It's crazy. I forgot what the percentage was. Dolphins blitzed more than anybody else last week, but still had no pass rush at the same time. They could not get to the quarterback.
Yeah, I mean,
they
you look at
more
some
than
of the
anybody,
pockets that Daniel Jones had last week, and it was insane.
And they could not get home on any of those blitzes.
Yeah,
it was just open pickings for, you're just going through your options at that point. They were just running their drills on these guys. So, I hope for a good bounce back day for Drake. And again, I think that Ramondre Stevenson, who is probably going to be on a lot of benches, I think Ramondre Stevenson potentially goes out there and has himself a day. Maybe he steals one from Henderson. Who knows? I know that Mike Vrabel wants to establish the run. He wants to establish the run. He said they need to establish the run. And Ramondre Stevenson fits the build of everything that Mike Vrabel was used to. So there are going to be plays schemed up for him.
I don't know, man.
What do you think about Kayshon Boutte? Do you think that this week he duplicates what he did last week? Or
that's a tough. I wouldn't mind.
Trust him?
I don't trust him. He is cheap in DFS, so in big tournaments and stuff like that, I would probably take the flyer on him. In a league like ours on the Sick Picks DFS, I probably wouldn't do that unless you're really trying to go high somewhere else.
You got to get ugly with those slips in DFS.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes the DFS is the ugly slips that really do win.
You gotta go outside the box.
But is this Drake May's guy? I think he likes Hunter Henry a little bit more, and I like Hunter Henry this week. You know what I mean?
I love Henry.
When it comes to a stack play in DFS, if you're doing May, because I like May, I'm stacking him with Henry, and that's why I asked you who would you running back with Miami. So I put David Enchain in the lineup here that I'm messing around with. But yeah, I think Henry's probably the best pass catcher as far as when it comes to May, one of May's favorites. Other than that, Boutte can repeat, but it really all depends on how May, meshes with these guys, gels with these guys, the chemistry between him and these wide receivers, him and Diggs, him and Boutte, him and Douglas.
You saw they got rid of Jalen Polk.
They released him?
They traded him.
Oh, that's right. To Philly.
Yeah, they traded him.
I don't know why that was shocking to me for a second. Yeah. But yeah, they did. As you can see, there's a Steelers fan
in all his glory
present.
Yeah, we all play at one. It's gonna be a wild one today.
Yeah.
We're all locked in.
But we spoke quarterbacks. Who do you like wide receiver wise today?
Well, I'll start not with who I like the most, but with a start-sit question for wide receiver: Zay Flowers or Devontae Smith?
Ah, man. Zay Flowers looked really good last week, man. And it looks like it could be the Zay Flowers year.
I was talking to you guys about him. I was like, I drafted Zay Flowers, guys. That's not even like me.
It was.
And week one, I saw 31 points. I was like,
there it is.
What?
How right was I?
Is this real? No. I got even more scared. I was like, okay.
Can I depend on this?
Like,
should I trade him?
Yeah, sell high September, right. Or my mind just started going.
Yeah. I get it.
I went to history and I saw and I fact checked and I looked at how the Browns play him, and they usually do a pretty good job going up against Zay Flowers. I also think that if the Ravens do stomp a mud hole in the Browns, this is more of a Derrick Henry game than a Zay Flowers game. Maybe a Mark Andrews game. I don't know. I really don't know there. I'm not sure.
I don't know neither. I did put Mark Andrews in a touchdown ticket today. I kind of like that to happen, only because I do feel like at some point Lamar wants to and has to spread the ball. You can't just focus on one pass catcher. I think it's very important for them to try and spread the ball on top of whatever Derrick Henry's giving them. Derrick Henry looked like he's going to have another Derrick Henry year this year. So, but yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to lean more towards Devontae Smith there. Okay. I do like Smith today. I think
he always does good when Goddard is out for some reason.
I think Kansas City. I don't know if they're going to make the same mistake as far as like really stacking the box to try and stop Barkley. We'll see it on some, if not most plays, but I do think they're going to try and adjust to the pass plays that they do defensively. So they probably might focus on A.J. Brown a little bit, maybe shadow him over top and give Devontae Smith that one-on-one. And that would behoove a lot of Devontae Smith owners, man. And I think Smith scores today too on top of that. So
that's what I mean.
No Dallas Goddard.
Some of the same similar, like the risk that you bake in with some of these two guys, like with Zay and with Devontae, is just how is the offense going to figure out a way to scheme up winning without you, basically? Right. Like, are you just going to be factored out of the equation because it's like Derrick Henry's going off or Saquon Barkley is going off?
Right. It's tough. It's tough to call, man. It's kind of like, again, it's like choosing a wide receiver from the Packers, dude. You just don't know which one of them is really going to go off for you. I know Matt said here Hampton or Walker. I don't know.
Give me.
I kind of like Walker only because of what we've seen the Jets do on the ground to Pittsburgh. But Hampton's playing the Raiders.
Walker would make sense. I don't know. I think
they both have good matchups. I like Hampton because he plays Monday night. And that's a good flex. I feel like having the Monday night kind of like helps you sometimes.
Maybe he doesn't want to wait until Monday though. So that's the tough thing.
I get that too.
Depending on how things are, you want to go and get those. You want to go for the knockout. Sometimes you got I think 8 games at 1:00, 3 games at 4:00, and then you have Sunday night football doubleheader tomorrow. So a lot of it is going to be hinging on a whole lot of Monday night miracles when you think about the 2 matchups that go down tomorrow. So It's a matter of, do I want to wait to play the waiting game, wait until 10:00 on Monday night, and hope that Hampton, dog walks these guys because I'm going to need them to drop 20, or do you take the Kenneth Walker approach at 1 p.m. and take what he can give you, against a team that they struggled to stop Henry last year. They struggled to stop Brees last week. I wrote Brees off. I wasn't worried about Brees Hall.
Yeah, no.
He gets like 6 touches, and I'm like, oh shit, like what's going on here? But I think I'd go Walker. That's my my opinion on that one.
That's cool.
What's your wide receiver?
I mean, it's got to be like top dog. It's got to be Jamar Chase, man. I mean, the guy put up 4 points last week.
Keep it simple, right?
Yeah,
don't overthink it here.
Jamar Chase, he is Mr. Start of the Week, whether it be DFS, fantasy. Like he has to bounce back. He has to, man. He has to bounce back for us people who took him first overall, for us people who took him second overall in a 2-quarterback dynasty league. Like he just really needs to bounce back for us.
6 points was tough for a lot of people last week.
I mean, dude,
I don't help you do nothing.
I can't even explain.
I think that the
anger I felt.
A lot of the rough patch that most of us experienced was because of the stock that we have in that offense, and the Lions are another story. Like, I couldn't believe, like, they were in the corner TV behind us, and I'm looking back at the score, and the Packers are just dog walking these guys. And I'm like, hello? Aren't you guys supposed to be the tough guys?
Yeah.
This is a huge division game, and the Packers are ready. They just took one from you. Next one's in Detroit on Thanksgiving, but the pressure's on you to win that one now. That being said, I like Jameson Williams.
Yeah,
I think he's a nice.
The Lions have to bounce back as a whole offensively, but Jameson Williams will be a good play. And I like Damn, who did I just put in my lineup here? Metcalf. I do like Metcalf because he's going back to Seattle, and I think it'd be,
There's a lot to that, yeah.
It's just one of those games where those players go back for the first time after leaving.
That offense was putting up points last week.
Yeah,
that was a shootout. That was shootout.
That was good to see, man. It was really good to see. So I really like Metcalf there.
All the games were finished, and we're all tuned into the Steelers-Jets game. The game that I thought was going to be like a 9-6 ugly game turned out to be the shootout of the week.
Right, big time. It was crazy.
With a crazy finish.
Definitely crazy.
Excitement. They gave you everything.
Real quick, who do you like tight end wise this week?
Tight end wise, I like Hunter Henry.
Good
I like Hunter Henry. And again, because of what I saw, I'm gonna this is something I'm gonna stick with from week 1, Juwan Johnson. Those are my 2 favorite plays. I think I'm about to plug Juwan Johnson into one league at a flex spot because I'm a little nervous about I'm between Juwan Johnson and Jerry Jeudy. It's just like, it's like
I'd probably go Johnson, honestly. I like Hunter Henry as a tight end this week also, and I like Brenton Strange.
Ooh,
I like Brenton Strange this week.
It's gonna get strange.
Yeah, I think again, Cincinnati's defense super poor, so I think Strange could have a big game this week.
BTJ too, like you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, BTJ. Oscar said BTJ anytime to Matt on here.
Yeah,
and then he came at him about having BTJ on his dynasty team because he has Jenkins now, and then he told Matt to go pound sand.
Nice.
Matt called Oscar and L7 weenie. And
Thanks,
that's what's happening in the chat right now. So L7 weenies, pound sand. It's Sunday morning sick picks, man.
Last start set. This is from Jordan. Roma Dunze, Tet McMillan.
For me, it's Tet, dude. I think that the better quarterback, or that you go with the better quarterback in that scenario. I know their stat lines look very similar when it comes to Tet and Rome stat lines when you look at them for week 1, but I like the talent that is Tet, and I like Bryce Young. I think he'll bounce back at some point. So yeah, I just like that situation better.
Very, very nice. Very, very nice.
Other than that, man, that's pretty much all I got, man. I'm gonna post some my picks on the Sick Picks page and on the Money Sports Forum in a second.
I'm gonna give you mine
picks
now.
of the week, and
I've got the.
I'm talking my full slate. Yes, on the Money
you got the
picks.
whole.
My full slate. Yeah,
okay.
but I'll definitely give my own sports picks right now.
Yeah, I got the Packers right on Thursday night. I'm going with the Broncos over the Colts. I got the Bengals over the Jags, the Cowboys over the Giants, and the Baltimore Ravens over the Cleveland Browns for my on the money picks this week.
Nice, I like that. What did you do last week? What was your record last week?
4-1.
4-1.
I went 4-1 because the damn Chiefs couldn't get it done. Otherwise, it would have been to start the year 5-0. We would have been hitting the Mr. Perfect music.
Yeah, that would have been bananas. That definitely would have been crazy. I put the Giants in my picks last week. I never do that. You guys know I hate doing that. Putting the Giants in my picks. Did you do it again? Did not do it this week. Last week I went 2-3. So this week I'm taking the Ravens. I'm taking the Lions. I'm taking the Pats. I'm taking the Steelers, and I'm taking the Falcons.
Okay.
Those are my 5 picks this week.
Well, there you have it. Another Sunday morning edition of Sunday Morning Sick Picks from the On the Money Sports Lounge.
Appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. As always, it's a pleasure doing this with you guys. And,
fun.
I'm just happy to be back, man. I'm happy to be back. So.
It's good to have you back. It's good to break things down from this perspective, and maybe we'll be a little bit more helpful with our picks this week than we were last week.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hope nobody gets hurt, please. Notice I didn't say a stack of the week because I'm afraid. I don't want to do it. But I did give some of my favorite start sits. Thank you for helping me with a very tough decision between Flowers and Devontae Smith. Everybody out there, good luck. You still got some time right now to get where you need to go. I know you got to get where you need to go.
Yep, I'm going to go watch the game with Noli, my primo.
Shout out
Dallas
to Noli.
fan, big Dallas fan.
I'll be in the East Coast group chat.
Got to sit with him, man. I want to be right next to him, whether win or lose. I just got to be next to him.
He's going to be giving you shit the whole time.
Yes, he is.
I know that.
Yes, he is. That is how he does.
Enjoy the very cool, crazy setup that he has over there with the TVs. I'll be enjoying.
Yeah, it'll be my first time down there enjoying his setup.
Nice.
So it's going to be cool, man. It's going to be a different experience today, and it should be fun.
It's beer o'clock.
That's right.
And
be safe, everyone. Be safe.
Everybody,
man.
take it easy, man, and enjoy your football Sunday, people. We'll see you for On the Money podcast this Wednesday night.
That's right. Make sure you